Hey, looks like your picture got 75 likes so far, and the video is done uploading, so I'll be playing that soon.
Awesome.
It's just a short little thing.
Sure.
Just playing around.
Don't mind at all.
What?
Don't mind at all.
No, it's your job to, yeah, it's your job to be part of the public, and you know, it's media, whatever.
Yeah. No, the reason I tell you why I asked is because we're pretty involved in like helping like homeless people and stuff like that.
In the park?
Yeah.
I don't think homeless people come out here. This is so far out of the way.
But we give them, like, sometimes they don't know of any kind of assistance that there's available.
Here?
Yeah.
What's the biggest city that you work or that's around here? It'd be
like Quincy.
Quincy, yeah. I didn't see. I mean, I saw a needle downtown, like maybe heroin or meth or something. Yeah. I saw one needle, but half the city is broken down. I mean, they
actually maintenance just gave me a meth pipe this morning.
And you can't. Yeah, okay, I got you. And you can't even walk across the bridge. How do you get across the river without a vehicle? Yeah. Because there's one bridge that's broken down. I don't. Maybe you could walk that, but there's a sign you can't. It says you can't walk across. Right. And then there's a train bridge. No one can cross the river. But you said you found a crap. Where was that found?
In the shower house in the campground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. But.
Yeah, you're looking out for people.
Yeah. So. You know, a lot of times people don't know that there's some help out there for them.
Well, I mean, okay.
We've got access to those. So.
Yeah, there's people in really bad shape.
Yeah.
You know.
And a lot of times, if we see a car like in a parking lot or something, and this kind of looked like somebody was, you know.
This looks pretty bad.
Well, it just looks like somebody was sleeping.
Small car. And if I was in a van, it would be a different impression, right?
Not really.
Maybe if I was wearing a business suit, it would be no.
No.
Okay.
Really.
Maybe it's just out of the ordinary from what you normally see. Nobody really parks here.
True.
And that's something that stands out. What else would people be doing besides either using the beach or having a lunch?
Well, they're sleeping in here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is okay.
If it's during the day, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal really anyway. But you know, it's just kind of an education thing that, hey, you know, when you have campsites, if you're going to sleep over.
Yeah, there's campsites. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is free during the daytime. There's some parks that cost money just to visit during the day. Yeah. No,
Missouri state parks are all free.
All of them? Okay, so is Iowa.
Are they?
Yeah, as far as I understand. I didn't know Missouri. I thought I might.
You got to pay for like if there's a cave. You know, if you rent kayaks or something like you got to pay for that stuff. Or
if there's a special, so where they do tours. If there's a tour somewhere, maybe,
like a cave tour.
Yeah, they would have that charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I just letting you know that you know, I was just playing with the little video. I do that. I recorded you on 3 cameras. Well, I recorded myself. Audio, pretty much. You know. You guys keep me on my toes. I mean, I'm saying you guys, but I mean, I've had previous interactions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure probably some good, some bad.
That's right. Yeah. But I get arrested every 25 cop stops, roughly. Similar stuff.
Arrested for what?
Just somebody's just got this idea in their head just to go for the arrest, or they're just pre-planned or something. I don't know. It just depends on the personality.
So we pretty well. With the park rangers, we pretty well are like education. More. We're not really interested in. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing something illegal.
Okay. Yeah. It's for park rangers. There hasn't been an arrest. I'm saying you guys. Well, you do say law enforcement. So, but I've had a few park rangers stop and talk to me, lecture me about you can only be here during the daytime. You better be gone at nights. That type of approach. Yeah. And then some guy checked to see if I was, with my car the way it is. Me sitting inside, he was checking to see if I was under the influence.
I'd be more checking to see if you're still alive in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot. It'd probably be pretty toasty.
Well, yeah, it's tomorrow and the next day. I mean,
next week.
This is just a warm up.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the high 90s.
Yeah, this will definitely make it difficult for homeless people. Yeah. And around here I don't see many.
There are.
Have you traveled much? Because
I'll tell you what, last year was really bad. It was really bad. This year we haven't seen quite as many this year for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
You sure it's not like, I don't know what you mean by bad, because I've been on the West Coast.
Well, probably not.
Yeah.
You've probably seen a lot worse.
I've walked around San Francisco. There's guys laying on the sidewalk peeing themselves.
Yeah.
Dribbling down the sidewalk. I mean, guys.
Not quite that bad. I guess.
Yeah, I've watched people do meth right on, or whatever, the needles right on the sidewalk of San Francisco. I mean, there's a sensitivity level to that activity, and it seems a little elevated around these parts.
Yeah.
Like, I had a cop stop at my car to tell me they saw a bear, and it's like, okay, you know, within 5 miles, and that was in Minnesota. But when you go to Colorado, like Steamboat Springs, Colorado, they don't call about bears unless the bear is actually getting into a trash can. Yeah. There's that sensitivity level.
Well, it's probably because they're more common there than they are here.
Yeah, and they're more common.
Yeah, we don't see them very often.
Yeah, and that's what I think that what it is with homeless people too. Maybe that there's this commonality thing.
Yeah, because it's not a, you know, I don't deal with it every day. I don't deal with it every week even.
So you're not quite. And that's why maybe you could use a little cross training. Maybe try Las Vegas. Yeah. Spend a week working in Las Vegas. You might have a different perspective on on the work. There's people throwing wood and whatever they can burn into a little fire, those fire pit things where you can cook, and just starting big fires in a downtown park. You know, whatever trash they find on the side of the road, they'll just try to burn or something.
Just stay warm or get food or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe to cook. Yeah, they just want to have a warm meal, or it's and people. Yeah, the sidewalks lined with tents. You know, people living on the sidewalks.
Yeah, see, we don't see that much around this area. I mean,
so yeah, there's. I mean, I haven't myself seen it. I don't really see a big problem with it. You're saying there's a big problem, but my perspective is.
Let's put it in my.
I have
in my area, it's a big problem. You know what I mean?
I have to like think what your perspective would be.
To somebody from out in California or somewhere like that, it's probably like.
And that's it's because the weather is so nice and stable on the coast. It's in like saying, for example, Bellingham, Washington. It's not even getting above 70 for the next few days. But here we're gonna be 99 or something, and it's that nice ocean breeze that keeps it all stable. And homeless can survive in that. I mean, if it stays nice. Sometimes there's spikes, but here it's just we're at the mercy.
What's the so what's the ratio with like drug use and homelessness? Is that kind of a
I think there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah, there's a lot that's aligned with that. Yeah. I heard on a video one guy said he likes to challenge himself, and that's what I like to do with as living just traveling around and living out of the car, pretty much, just going around exploring. I'm more of an explorer than somebody who's addicted. I don't have any addictions myself, but those people who do go homeless, I've seen little camps outside of Walmarts in the woods behind Walmarts and stuff, little tents left behind, garbage left behind, and
I used to work in St. Louis for about 5 years. And I've seen it. I've seen a little more of that kind of stuff, like people like have little places, beds in the woods and stuff, off the Katy Trail. I don't know if you ever heard of the Katy Trail.
No, I was listening. I have a police scanner, and I was listening to like St. Charles. Seems like they're having a lot of activity.
Yeah, that's where I was around that area.
That's kind of a bad area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Downtown St. Charles. I mean, it's just you just see it a lot more there than you do in other places. I guess it's not really it's all area. It's just more prominent. They lack religion. There's a culture. There's something with the culture that they put too much pressure, or they try to have these higher standards, and when they fail, they're harder on themselves. You know. I'm not sure about that. But. Yeah, there's all these perspectives that lead to these problems, and I mean. But I do what I can in this area. With helping people out and stuff. But
it's you can spend more time studying up on it than actually applying what you've learned around here.
Right.
I think so.
And a lot of it here is
mixed with mental health, like schizophrenic.
Yeah. Oh.
A lot of schizophrenic people that are homeless.
Yep.
That are just not on medications.
Yep.
I've noticed that more than
you've actually watched, you've seen, interacted with these schizophrenics.
Like, you know, they're hearing people speak out of their speakers. And they're seeing people following them and things like that. So.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I mean, they hear voices. I mean,
it's just unfortunate that they don't have, they can't get their medications that they need.
Is it? Yeah, it's medication. Either they get hit on the head, or there's a chemical imbalance, maybe an electrical imbalance, something. Yeah, it's really weird how the mind can just play tricks like that. So
it's hard to understand it, especially if you're, you know, if you're.
I don't. Yeah, I have no.
Like
do you hear voices in your head?
I don't.
Yeah.
So it'd be
I
hard.
mean,
You know,
I'll talk to myself sometimes.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I always say I can talk to myself, but if I start answering myself, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, something, weird. Yeah, you think there's somebody else talking to you, but yeah, I have dreams. I mean, but there's, and we're all gonna go at some point. You know, there's something that's just we're all at our different stages of life, and just gotta deal with it when it comes up.
Absolutely.
So
if we can help it anyway, that's what we
well, yeah, you could probably offer more help, and where could you, if you really wanted to find cases and situations where there's more need for that, more need for help. There's other
in the St. Louis area, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, and
our parks down there, they get,
and that could be
hard.
Yeah, that could be overwhelming, I suppose. Just you spend enough time there, it can just bring you down a little bit.
Well, you know, there's just a lot of different cases, a lot of different interactions, and some are involved with drug use, some are involved with mental health, and so it's like sometimes it's like being a counselor instead of a law enforcement officer, which is fine. You know,
there's some cops that just have, I mean, they're hired and they're not prepared for to be patient. So, you know, there's this escalation or something you guys are taught to de-escalate the situation, but I mean, some cops just have a difficult time when they're called and they're maybe ramped up, and they just things can get kind of ugly with the situation sometimes. They've gotten ugly with me. I've been arrested 5 times over my ID. Yeah. Just similar situations.
Yeah, and it seems you know, in law enforcement, when the public is calling and complaining or calling and concerned about something, as a law enforcement officer, it feels like that burden's on us now. So we have to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like it's our job now.
Yeah, and most of them, I would say, want to make the caller more happy than the person that's been called on. Right. They want to satisfy that person, the complainer, more than the person that's. And I've gotten simple calls like this sleeping thing. If you hadn't stopped, somebody may have called, and then you would want to satisfy that caller instead of your own curiosity. And you may even be more aggressive with your policing if you're doing it on behalf of somebody else.
No, you're exactly right. And that's, you know, that's and it's a tough position to be in as a law enforcement officer, because you know, like I said, once they make that call, then you feel like the burden is on you now. Yeah. Like it's our.
You're not the military. You're not trying to advance a front line. You're in the middle, trying to just draw up, like, you know, find even points.
Right.
With this.
And a lot of times, people that call, they're you know, escalating what's really going on, or they over-exaggerate.
They do.
Things,
oh man,
like that. But that gets dispatched to us, and we don't know any different. You know what I mean? So we're
and it's not just the caller who would escalate. They want to get you out there to check that out.
Right.
And if you're just saying it's a loose, or if I don't know, something that doesn't look that bad, cops will say, oh, it's not that bad. Maybe they'll say, oh, but there's a gun involved, or the caller will escalate the situation. But in my case, in Louisiana, the dispatcher escalated the situation. A
Oh,
caller
yep.
calls in and says, "I'm acting weird in the library," and the dispatcher turned that from the answering the call to over the radio. She said, "I'm casing the place
Oh, wow.
and checking doors to make sure they're locked, and is wearing a military jacket." There was escalation with dispatch, and she was the actual one who answered the phone, and then of course the cops ramped it up even more.
Yeah.
In Louisiana, it's resisting arrest if you don't even show ID. That's in their law. It's
Which in Missouri you're required to name and date of birth.
well,
But-
if you have reasonable suspicion of a crime.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's elements that must be met.
Sure. Yeah.
of the situation. So
And a lot of sometimes you wonder if it's like, people are just like, what's going on in the world with active shooters, things like that.
The
They
Boston
think that
bomber.
anybody that doesn't look like them is automatically going to be an active shooter.
Yeah.
And then you get places saying, see something, say something. So that everybody's saying something.
Yep.
Sometimes it's worthy, and sometimes it's not.
Yep. Yeah. There's the mainstream media reporting on it's kind of some rare instances of surprising violence, and they make sure that they really hone in on things that'll shock people. There's a shock value in people. Yeah,
it's an agenda. I mean,
and it's just incredible. Yeah, I was compared to the Boston bomber because I had a couple big bags on me at the library with my situation. Yeah. I mean, in Louisiana, it's tough. The legal system compared to Missouri. But I did spend a night in Missouri. You probably know about the 24-hour hold you guys can do.
Yeah.
Bethany, Missouri. I spent the night in the.
Is that down like south of St. Louis?
That's west, kind of right on the border of Iowa. The Great Lakes of Iowa.
Yeah.
I came down, that way, and then when I crossed the border, Bethany was like the next city, somewhere Great Lakes, Iowa. Just south of that. There's another city in between. I forget the name of that, but
they put a 24-hour.
Yeah, I went into the city hall and asked about parking. She called the cops and she demanded my ID, and I asked him what the crime was, and he just said I have the right to ID myself. He couldn't name a crime, so he had to put me in 24-hour hold so he could get probable cause, and he got the prosecutor behind it for a little bit, but then it was dropped in 1.5 days.
Well, I can see why.
But yeah, shortest time I've ever been in litigation, and that was arrest number 4, and then arrest number 5 in Louisiana has been the worst so far. It's just dealing with all of that.
They're pretty strict down there.
They got low standards for arrest. They got low standards for conviction. They pretty much arrested me and convicted me on their imaginations. And I have a lawyer on this now. I'm in the appeals process because I was convicted and sentenced, but there was
what?
no.
What was the?
It was me just showing up at a library, and they said that I was walking around the they said I looked angry, and I had big bags and walking around casing the library.
What was the official charge they had?
That was failure to ID.
Oh.
Under resisting arrest, they have also in there is failure to reveal yourself and then ID yourself. So if you're wearing a mask or something, you have to reveal yourself, and then you also have to ID yourself. But that's if the cops have reasonable articulable suspicion. And I was asking them that about what was what was I suspected of? What crime did you suspect me of? And it was just like they said, we got a call and you match a description, and that was it. And then it was based on this is city court too. They have a low standard for conviction in city courts, but it was based on what the librarians said. They were scared. They heard they heard banging. I went up to a 3rd floor, checking doors. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I've made videos of the incident and stuff, yeah, it was just a lot of this circumstantial evidence that was used, and the judge even asked who records in a library and who asked the cops for their names. He's as he's making his statements before my conviction, he asked those questions. He was questioning why I was recording, because I had 3 cameras out. I had 3 cameras with you. Like I said, law enforcement has trained me. I wear a camera. I have a 360 camera. Yeah. One touch button, boom. I'm because these stops have happened so much. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's why while you're coming by, I was just a little excited to tell you that you got a bunch of likes.
Hopefully nobody hates on me too bad.
I don't think you really said anything that was too offensive. Okay, I'm connected.
The service here is really bad.
Yeah, I was over there and it said I was not connected. Over here I am connected, and I finished the upload right here on my hotspots. But I guess I'm maybe out of range again. So it was at 75 likes before within 45 minutes. That was just a little written post in your picture, and now the video will be going up. So yeah, we'll see what people say.
I encourage people to film me.
Okay.
That keeps me professional and.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Hey, what's your name? I don't even know your name.
Sergeant Bartz.
Bartz. Okay,
yep.
Sergeant Bartz. Okay, because I was gonna have you as nameless, but now I got your name with the Z.
Yep.
Bartz with the Z.
Yep.
So now I could put you as in the title, your name, so that'll be easier for people to reference.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we need. We need to be able to research these cops if there's a problem,
sure.
Or if we want to give them an award for great behavior.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
It's like, yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like cops
don't get awards much.
Cops are. They don't want to be known if there's something bad that happens, but if they're to be offered something that's favorable, then yeah, they're happy to tell you who they are.
I'd rather not be either one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just know
my job and
just know that you're doing what the best that you can with what you got, type of thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go.
Okay. Well,
the lake's open if you want to go swimming.
It's tempting.
It's
yeah.
Warm, so.
It's tempting. So.
No charge. Everything's free.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, man. It's nice talking to you.
Okay. Yeah. Have a good one.